I advance forward with my undying family towards the edge of the forest. This land has a rich, dark, green hue associated with it. And as expected, there are my foolish enemies. Welcome to MJ Hobby Corner. Now you may hear rain in the background and thunder because there was a thunderstorm just recently. So here is the board. It's the perfect day to play Death Wizards, and this is my second game, only my second game, and I'm still learning the rules. Also, we have two new AIs that we will learn, the Wizard and the Priestess here, or Priest, and then two warriors in the back. So this is, if you haven't seen the first game, you can go check out the first game. In this second game, we're going to see how these magic users affect the game. Now we have 5 rounds to destroy all 4 heroes. Here is the real hero, Radagast, and his minions. I brought in an extra Skelly, 1 extra rating, just to try him out. And that difficulty rating for the scenario is basically a guideline. So that's why I'm bringing in the extra Skelly and see if he can help us out. It's all the same undead with my zombie, archer, and there's cousin no name, because Stitchers do like to resurrect their families. And so that's cousin with the big tome there. And then we have a Death Knight, who's my most powerful piece. Conduct a ritual. Every scenario will tell you how to set up the beginning terrain. Then you roll randomly on these quadrants in order to add additional terrain. Now I'm playing it like this, upside down. This is the deployment zone of the necromancer and his minions with the forest in front, and here are the heroes. So I'm playing it the opposite because it's easier for me to play this way. And there's the swamp I rolled, that whole area, and then I rolled a pool for this area. And Simon has joined me in the studio today. Turn 1, and Radagast is going to move first. He moves 5 inches, and I think I want him into this little clearing here by the tree that looks like a dead hand. And he's going to move right into the clearing, and I didn't designate that anything special, like nothing difficult, no difficult terrain, nothing like that, but you can assign your terrain special traits if you want to. I'm just learning. So there he is, peeking out of the woods. Okay, so what does Radagast see? Well, he sees a little priestess over there dancing around with her blades. Okay, well, I think she needs a negative blast. So let's give her a negative blast. He says the dark words, says them in his mind, says them out loud, and suddenly a bolt, that's the name of the spell, negative bolt. A bolt of negative energy appears in the air in front of him and gets ready to race towards the priestess. Now that is 4 power dice versus a resist of 7. Since it is a spell, it goes against the resist of the character. And yeah, well, I got a couple. Well, he did pretty good. He got 3 hits. 3 successes, rather, which is great. Now, if I roll a 10 here, that would be awesome. But he rolls a 5 and a 1. Alas, it's a 6. Not bad. So, and the sun is a little bit in the way here, but we'll make the best of it. Okay, bolt of negative energy race through the air. So, yep, priestess is hit by a bolt of negative energy. So now she's not dancing anymore. All right, moving on then to, after my necromancer, we go to the heroes. Now the heroes, 2 heroes activate because this is a solo story mode. So 2 heroes are going to activate per player. I'm the only player, obviously. So the activation order is as follows: the priestess, the wizard, and then the 2 warriors. So first 2 heroes activate, then it goes back to me. So let's do this. Okay, so the priestess, we roll on her little AI after she's just been hit. Okay, 9. I rolled a 9. That's not good. The higher you roll, the worse it is, and a 9 is a blessing. So the priestess and everybody within 12 inches get a +1 defense, +1 offense. That sucks. Now that the priestess blessed everybody, we see the wizard here. He gets to move next. He's next in the activation order. He rolls a 4. Now the wizard, 4, is fiery bolts, according to the AI. However, he's not in range to do any fiery bolts or anything like that. So he's just going to move. He's going to go further down the AI and go and make a double move. Now, if he can't do a double move for whatever reason, then he defaults to the very first choice of the AI, which is, I believe, for the wizard, Force Globe. Okay, but he is going to double move roughly on this side of the road right here. So he's getting close. That may change, however, as enemies go upon him. We'll see that will probably change. All right. 2 very important things to note about the wizard is magical shielding. The wizard gains a +3 bonus to defense for the first offensive attack made against it each turn. That's very important. But then also walk the mist. At the start of each turn, before any activation, if an enemy is within 6 inches of the wizard, it will teleport 12 inches directly away from the nearest enemy. So I interpret that as the wizard himself will then teleport 12 inches away. So while he made this move now, once I start moving close, he's going to be like, nope, and goodbye. It is now my turn, and I can activate. Oh, by the way, we have to lower the energy here. So this goes down to 14 because we have to always remember to deduct the cost of the spell we made. And now that's good. All right, so zombie goes. We activate 4 rating of undead. So now the zombie can go. I'm going to activate the bulk of my force. So all of my low rating undead are going to activate. So going now for... I think zombie is going to move there, and then I don't want Skelly too close. Okay, so I'm going to move Skelly over here, Skelly Archer, and I think Skelly definitely has a target there, so we are going to shoot at that wizard. Now, again, the wizard gets a +3 defense because it's the first offensive attack, and Archer Skelly only gets 3 dice. So, +3 on his defense. His defense is 5, so that is 8. I need 8s on this guy. Oh, lo and behold, look at that. We got a 9. 9, 4, and 7. Okay, wizard takes 1 damage, despite his ability. So, take that, wizard. I'm going to put a 9 there. He goes down from 10 durability to 9. Good job. This Skelly right here to support the zombie. Right next to him, Skellies move 6 inches. So they're actually faster than zombies are, which is hilarious. All right, so cousin. This is our necromancer's cousin, whom he resurrected, holding the huge tome, and he smacks you in the face with a big tome. That was done as a joke, really, but that is the necromancer's cousin. So everybody has moved. That's my 4 rating of undead. Each one of those is 1 rating, and now it's back to the heroes. So the next 2 heroes are the warriors, and these are the tough guys in melee. We got to be very careful with these guys. So the first warrior is a dwarf. He rolls an 8. However, we look at the AI, and that's whirlwind strike. He can't do a whirlwind strike. He's just going to double move. And this is usually happens at the very beginning. I think he's going to move his 10 inches first, and then we'll just give him a couple of inches. That puts him right at the edge of the road here. Okay, so Dwarf Warrior is there, rushes over past the road towards Rodergast, actually, in the clearing, and he's there to support the wizard. So now, let's roll. Okay, and we'll skip the explanation. That was a 7, but he can't do that attack right now, so I think he is going right here. This gives him about 10 inches. So now we're going to do another. He also has a movement of 6, so that's 12 inches altogether. And that brings the Knight of the Realm right there again to support his comrades. Second activation. So I think Rodergast, for his second activation, is going to come around the tree. It's a little too close for comfort there. So we're going to make this his second activation. So no bolster undead, no spell, no nothing. And now that he's done, there's no more heroes to activate. Death Knight can activate, and Death Knight is going to move right into the forest clearing where Rodergast was. And his empty eye sockets are there with that slight little glow in anticipation of the enemy. Okay, so there we go. Turn 1 is done. Let's go to turn 2. I do is recharge energy, so up to 17 now. We gain 3 energy. That's good. And before I can even start, I started putting the spell down that I want my necromancer to do. So it starts with my necromancer. It's his first activation. He did bolster undead, so we're going to change the energy in a minute. But before I can do that, actually, we're just going to go over to the wizard, and he is within 6 inches of the enemy. So he's going to teleport backwards 12 inches. He's going to say, see ya. 12 inches backwards, directly away. So he's all the way there, and he's like, nope, I'm not doing this. Goodbye. And he goes back. Now I can do my spell, Bolster Undead, and now I can go back down to 14. Okay, so that is something I have to remember. Again, I'm horrible at remembering these things, and it just sucks. It's really frustrating, but it's the way my brain works. So he did that, and Necromancer's going to stay there. He's not going to move. Okay, so now that the Necromancer went, our 2 heroes get to go. And our priestess moved over here in the hero's turn order. She rolls a 2. Now this time we have to be careful because she is close to enemies. So 2 is a cleaning strike. The priest will attack the nearest enemy it can see. If there's no enemy within range, which there is, it will move up to 5 inches and then make an attack against the nearest enemy it can see. If it cannot move and attack such an enemy, it will move and then use its other action to move again. So her offense is 6. This little lady can hit hard. She is no joke. She can hit hard. Okay, so she rolls 6 dice. Now, Archer, his defense is a measly 3, so she needs 3s. Oh, this is not looking good. Okay, so she does quite a few hits. She needs 3s, so basically they all hit. There we go. Now, Skellies do have a special ability, Nothing But Bones, so they get -1 damage from an offensive attack. We're going to take this one out, and that's our -1, so 2, 4, 5 damage to our Skelly brethren. Even with the +1 defense, he suffers 5 damage, only has 2 left. Okay, that combat is done. So that's our little lady. Now we go to the wizard again. He only reacted because of a special ability he had. And now he rolls on the AI to see what he does. So now he comes back And he does a fireball. The wizard makes an attack against the nearest enemy it can see. Well, yeah, that would be the Death Knight over there. There he is. Okay, so he can see Death Knight in the clearing there, and he's going to launch a fireball. Now, fireballs are bad news. Knight, we know that's in range. That's more than in range. It's like a 20-inch range. It's insane. Okay, so fireball, all models, nobody else around him, so he's going to take the bulk of the damage. All right, he hits on 6s, and lo and behold, no, that one doesn't hit. That is 2 and 3. That is 3 damage to the Death Knight. So he has 19 durability. He is down to 16. Okay, and as I believe it, Death Knight does not have nothing but bones, even though he is a rattler like his fellow skellies, but he has insane other abilities. So Death Knight took a hit from a fireball. All right, we can take it. We can take it. That's the end of the hero's turn for now. It goes back to me. And now it goes back to 4 rating of undead. Okay. Well, I think we're going to swap things. And I think Death Knight is going to make his move. He sees the dwarf warrior. He comes in. The warrior. Now, the warrior has... Whenever the warrior suffers damage from an offensive attack where the attacker is within 1 inch, the attacker suffers 1 damage. I have to remember that. And this model increases its defense by 2 whenever there is only a single enemy within 1 inch. All those things are true. So our dwarf's defense is going to be 7. Let's roll these dice and see. Okay, I got a couple of hits even with the bolster defense, but Death Knight takes 1 damage. We gotta separate that. That's because of the hero's special ability. We now roll the 4 remaining dice. Looks like 3 more hits. No more 1s. So I'm just gonna take 1 damage out of my guy just to make sure I remember. So Death Knight was 16. He is now 15. He gains weakened. So the warrior is weakened. And also, that condition will lower his offense and defense yet again. So he is down to 9 now. All right, that's good. Good turn. Good job, Death Knight. All right, well, I activated. He is worth 4 rating. So it now goes back to the heroes. So now it's the warriors. Do that dwarf. Let's see what he does. He rolls a 1. As he rolls a 1, that is a defensive stance. The warrior does not move. He does not move, and he gets +1 defense until end of turn. Himself, so he stands there, guards himself, increases his defense by 1. He's going to need it because he is weakened. The 2 for the warrior AI is strike. The warrior will attack the nearest enemy. So he's going to go here and attack the poor Skelly. That's not good. So it is now a 4, so he needs 4s. Oh, he is gone. He's a goner. Alright, that's 4. Looks like he did 4 hits, no crits. He did 4 hits. Our Skelly only had 2 durability, so Skelly Archer is shattered. And that is the first undead casualty of the game. Sounds weird saying undead casualty, but anyway. Rottergas sees a problem here. Yeah, there is a problem here. So I think Rottergas for his second activation is going to... Yeah, that's a problem. He's going to move back. He's going to say the words, and he's going to do negative bolt. Or you know what? No, let's try something juicier. Let's do from 14, take it down to 9. We're going to spend 5. So 3 enemy targets. can be hit. So that's this knight and the priestess. Okay, so all of a sudden he says the dark words and these tentacles come out of the ground. Now, that's not it though. This does have a power dice and it's 3d10, and every success will give a d3 damage to the heroes. Okay, I have a 10 and 8. Now, I'm not counting this as a crit during the power rolls. I'm only counting it as a straight up success. That's just me, the way I interpret the rules. So for the knight, he rolls a 6. He takes 3 points of damage. And she takes 1 point of damage. Okay. That ends Rodergast's second turn, and there are no more warriors to activate, no heroes. So now it goes to my 4 rating of undead. Death Knight has already activated, so we go to the remaining undead here. I only have 3 rating this turn, so he's going to attack the knight. The knight is still accessible. I think I'm going to do that. And the knight is slowed. He's going to attack through the magical tentacle movement right now. So, okay, so Skelly rolls a good hit. It's 9, 8, and 7. All right, well, that's good. That's 3 damage. And our knight from 11 now goes down to 8. Okay, so little by little, we're taking him down. All right, well, now Zombie is going to attack, and I think I want to continue to attack this knight. Ah, we forgot his +1 offense. Let's roll that. That's a miss. Okay, so now Zombie is going to go, and Zombie is going to move up. Now, he does have +1 offense, +1 defense, thanks to that spell. So Zombie... he only gets offense 3, but because he's boosted, he has 4 now. So again, he hits on 5s. No other special ability. He gets a crit. Now that is double damage. So that's 2, 3, 4. And that's 4 more points, leaving our knight with 4 points of durability left. He is almost dead. Yes, okay. Well, we still have Cousin. So Cousin's gonna get into the fray here. He's gonna attack. Now, Cousin is not boosted, so Cousin gets only 4 dice. Oh, another crit. Cousin took the tome. 2 crits. Cousin took the tome out of his back and slaps the damn knight right in his helmeted form. And the knight suffers 5 damage. He only had 4. And the knight dies in the middle of the tentacles. Alright, now Rodergast, unfortunately, because he had to back up, is nowhere near where he can absorb the energy. And if Death Knight kills somebody, he can absorb the energy, but this does not really, pertain to him. So, unfortunately, I lose that energy because Rodergast has to be within 3 inches. But, thought it was safer to keep him over there, but he doesn't get to absorb the juice. That's okay. All right. Well, that ends this round because I activated all my 4 rating of undead. We now go to round 3. Okay, turn 3, and I've already increased my energy. So I'm continuing. It is getting very hot in the studio. I'm hoping to finish soon. We're recording early in the morning, but it's going to be a hot one today. So let's get going. So Rodergast is here. And now... I think he's going to go around, and I know I'm not going to measure it because this is definitely less than his 5 inches. You know what? I think I'm going to push him a little further. And the thing is that I want him close to that warrior. Okay? Alright. And what he's going to do with his first activation is going to lower his energy again from 12 to 9. We're going to spend the 3 energy cost, and we're going to bolster undead only on him. So what that does is it gives him a nice boost of +2 defense, +2 offense. So man Rottergast, he ends his turn there, and now we go to the 2 heroes. So first things first is the priestess, and the pain in the ass priestess heals 1. She is the first one in the order to do something. She rolls a 5 and a cleaning strike. The priestess will attack the nearest enemy if it can see it. And yes, she can see the zombie. She's going to do a cleaning strike on the zombie. Anything else? Okay, so she's just going to do an attack. Oh, this little lady hits hard. This sucks. Okay, so she has offense 6. God, she's a toughie. Yeah, she's a toughie. All right, so 9, and oh, she's got a crit. God damn her. Okay, everything else misses. I don't have any other bonuses on him. And my dude has a defense 3, actually. So, gotta remember that. So here we go. These are all hits. These are misses. We got a crit. So that's 3, 4, 5. That sucks. And now that's 5 damage to him. All right, and that's that. Wizard. He rolls a 1, which means he does Force Globe. The wizard moves directly away from enemies. If there is an enemy within 1 inch, there isn't any, ending this movement outside 1 inch of all enemies if possible. He increases his defense by 1 until the end of turn. Okay, ends the first hero activation. We now go back to me. And now I activate 4 Rating of Undead. I'm going to summarize turn 3 to keep things going, and then I'll be back. Okay, so my 4 Rating of Undead activated this round, and 1 Skelly rushed over here to support Death Knight, and basically that does not allow the warrior to get the defensive specialist benefit, because now there's 2 enemy figures on him. He did some damage, and the warrior is now, the dwarf warrior is now down to 8. However, because of the warrior's repulsed ability, I rolled 2 1s during that attack, and Skelly also took 2 damage because of that, and he's now down to 7. So it wasn't a great attack by that skeleton, but oh well. Now the priestess, we got her down to 2 durability. She's almost dead. Cousin did a whopping amount of damage, which was great. He rolled a crit, and zombie did some damage as well. Actually, here is the zombie's result. So out of his 3 offense, he did 2 hits, and that got her down to 2 finally. So she went from 8 to 4, from 4 to 2. So that's where we stand, and now that my 4 Rating of Undead are done, we get to the 2 heroes, which is the warrior here. That's all that's left on that side. Okay, so the dwarf just rolled his attack. His AI result was a 3, so he does a strike, and he does a single strike on 1 enemy. I rolled a d6 to see who it was that he strikes. He strikes Skelly, and then he did a crit and 3 hits. So 5 hits off of Skelly. He is now down to 2 durability. He had 7. He is now down to 2. He's almost on his way out, but that ends the warriors and therefore the hero's turn, and it goes back to my necromancer the second time. Okay, turn 3 is over, and we are doing very good. We kill the priestess. Rottergast moves here, and he just does a basic melee, and here are the results of his dice. He does 2 damage on the priestess, nothing else, no spell, no nothing, just whacks her with the staff, and she's dead. And So yeah, very cool. And then Death Knight here with his massive offensive bonus, he and everything else. He rolls a crit, which does 3 damage instead of 2, thanks to Cruel Blades, and these are his results, which is way more than enough. He did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage to the dwarf. The dwarf had 8 points left, and the dwarf is done. Now, he gets to heal whatever the rating was of the dwarf. The rating was 2, so he gets to heal 2 durability. So from 15, he goes up to 17. Round 3, I may resurrect that priestess into my service. We will see. 4 heroes down, round 3, going to round 4, and we are nearing the end of the game. So let's do it. I'm going to summarize round 4 as well. Okay, so necromancer energy goes down to 7. He is going to do another tentacle grasping tendrils. It is 3d10 power against the resist of 8. Ugh. Oh, yeah, terrible. Nope, complete failure. So the tendrils do not activate. The wizard has probably dispelled it, and that is the end of the necromancer turn. And the wizard has teleported backwards thanks to his ability, Misty Walk, and now that makes it harder for us. This is going to be a cat and mouse game. We're going to have to corner this guy. So let's see. Now it goes to my 4 rating of undead. Will I get this guy? I don't know. My 4 rating of undead have moved. It's the Skelly, Cousin, and Zombie going as fast as he can. He's very slow. And now my necromancer has activated his 2nd time. I think he's going to try grasping tentacles again. That's another 5 energy. So he is left with 2 energy, dangerously low, but that's okay. 3d10 power dice, resist 8 for the wizard. Oh, we get a 10. Yes, that is 1 d3 of possible damage. So now he is surrounded by tentacles. Yay. Now we do a d3. So that's 2 points of damage to the wizard, and the wizard had 9, so 7. He is down to 7. Oh, what a chase. Okay, and there he is in the tentacles. Try to dispel that. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, now doing my last rating of undead, and then this turn is over to turn 5. Death Knight is gonna suffer a point of damage, and he's gonna activate his power bolt, and the same power bolt rushes out of the Death Knight. It is an 18-inch range, but of course we have to roll against a very high resist. Can he do it? It is 4 power dice. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, 1. Okay, 1. Resist of 8. Okay, so the wizard gets a power bolt to the face by the Death Knight. He rolls an 8, and that's more than enough to kill the wizard. Ah! Wizard only have 5 health left, and so that's good enough. Okay, so that ends this game, folks. Let us go to the post game now and get some rolls done. A few mistakes I had to correct, a few confusions here and there, but a great game nonetheless. So for my lair, this is my 2nd game, so I get to add an impedimenta to my lair. My lair is a cave, so I'm going to add a crypt. You have an extensive crypt with raw materials on demand, and the benefits are, whenever rolling to restore minions during the post-game process, you may add +1 to a single roll for 1 necromantic minion. You can also pick this more than once, up to 3 times. So I'm going to add a crypt to my cave and start to expand the layer. For the scenario rewards, I get in each necromancer may increase their necromantic energy by 1 permanently. Okay, so Rotorgas now has 18 energy permanently, so that's great. So I'm just gonna put that in the sheet right now. And then necromantic power, 1 additional necromantic power, permanently add that power to your list. Okay, and I did not play this scenario in advance. Okay, so those are my rewards. Skelly, a 5 through 9. The model's restored without change. Archer Skelly is resurrected, not a problem. Retire minions, I don't think I'm going to retire anybody. And raise new undead. Okay, so there's raising heroes and raise new undead. Now I want to create a vampire spawn. A vampire spawn is rating 1. So I have to roll a d6 and it has to be greater. So I can't roll a 1. If I roll, I need a 2 or above to create a vampire spawn. And the higher the rating, the more complex the creation is going to be. Rolling. Okay, so I rolled a 4. So yes, I do create my vampire spawn, and I can add that to my rating, to my undead minions. And next game, I'll just swap out minions. Some of them will stay in my new lair in the crypts to protect it. So okay, so I'm going to take my time as I'll report the experience on the next turn as well. Okay, so it's ready for the next game. We're going to keep learning these rules and keep trying to see where we go with the game. It's a very fun game. I definitely recommend it for anyone that likes Undead and Necromancer. It's a great game by Snarling Badger Studios. Alright folks, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. I have a lot of painting of miniatures to do today, and I think I'll be working in the smaller studio. Have a good one.